of a controversy, something's going on, I focus like, oh my God, the world, everything's happening here. And then you go outside, nobody knows.
I think Twitter's radioactive. I think that you can stay in it and you'll get sick. That's what I think. But if you just visit briefly and get the fuck out of there and then take care of yourself, you're going to be all right.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's good for people.
It's the old Ricky Gervais. He's like my favorite comedian of all time. He had a quote. Do you like Ricky Gervais?
Yeah, he's great.
He had he has one about Twitter, someone posts something in a town square. I'm botching his line. It has nothing to do with you, but people run up to it just to complain about it. That's kind of it. It's an echo chamber. It's toxic.
It's also, I think, it's legitimately bad for mental health to communicate that way. To communicate just through text, and it's almost all of it is aggressive, and almost all of it is insulting, and almost all of it is disparaging of people. The amount of like anti or negative tweets versus positive tweets. I mean, I wonder if anybody's done a study of that, like how much negative tweeting versus positive tweeting.
Probably, I would guess, like 90%.
It's probably somewhere like that. It's just bad for you. It's bad for you to if you went to a bar and every time you went to a bar, people were fucking arguing and screaming at each other. You'd be like, "Fuck this bar.
100%.
This ain't fun. I want to go have a good time. I don't want to be around these people." It's not a normal way for human beings to communicate where they're not looking at each other across a table, having a drink, just looking at each other as another human, appreciating each other as a person, a human being. When you just see text on a screen and you're like, I'm going to fuck this guy up, and you go. And
it's easy to do it.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want. And there's been plenty of times I've seen examples where someone tracks down like the commenter. And then the commenter apologizes. Like, oh, I didn't know you'd see it. You know, it's a different mentality when you get to that.
Of course. It's not normal. Humans are supposed to communicate with words in front of each other. That's how we're supposed to. That's how we evolved. That's what we're capable of understanding and appreciating. You know, and you know when someone's bullshitting you, and you know when someone's like got a secret agenda. You're like, this guy's kind of a creep. You know, you get it. You know, and then you get some people like, I really like talking to that guy, and then you can't wait to talk to him again. And then you kind of have an agreement. When you see each other, you know that he likes you, and you know that you like him, and you know he's a nice guy, and he knows you're a nice guy, and you let me buy you a drink. All right, let's have a drink.
And you never know what you're talking. Twitter, it's like you could be getting worked up on what like an 8-year-old says. You have no idea.
Or a bot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. And there's these Macedonian fucking troll farms where they have thousands and thousands of accounts, and they're just trying to undermine democracy 24 hours a day, and they're literally being state sponsored to do that. There's that too. And that riles people up. You know, they found out that like 19 of the top 20 Christian sites on Facebook were run by troll farms?
No, I didn't know that.
19. So there's 19 out of the top 20 Facebook Christian pages that are not real. All they are is riling up people against whatever it is, Islamic people or gay people or transgender people, whatever it is. They're just trying to get people to argue about shit, getting people angry about shit.
It's really easy to do that too.
Very easy. So I think the solution is post and ghost. Post shit that you want, don't read the comments, get the fuck out of there, and don't engage in back and forth disagreements with people on that.
It's so much easier. I don't, but so much easier said than done. So many people, you preach that, it's hard to do.
It's very hard to do, and also, like, I have a podcast, so I can actually sit down and talk to people, which most people don't have, right? So you don't have that opportunity to, like, work things out with someone and try to find out what they really feel and what they believe face-to-face in front of them.
Right.
It's the best way to talk. It's the best way to communicate ideas, and so I don't communicate ideas in a piss-poor way, because I think that way sucks. And so if I get to do the best way all the time, which I do, why would I engage in the worst way? Like, just back and forth with people on Twitter that just want to make you feel bad. Like, not interested in that.
Do you have any dream guests?
No.
None? Never?
No. I like talking to people. I don't care who they are. I mean, I like talking to my friends. I like talking to, I had a lady in recently that was a beekeeper.
I saw that.
I had a guy the other day that he has a giant piece of land in Alaska, and they're finding woolly mammoth bones. Like that. I like that. That's what I like. I like talking to fighters. I like talking to you. I like talking to whoever. I just like talking to people. It's fun. I like seeing how different people see this world. It enhances my perspective. I've gotten, through this podcast, a very unexpected and accidental education. That's what I think. So because of that, like, I don't have any desire to communicate in an ineffective way that makes me feel bad. And read a bunch of mean things that people say about you and just go back and forth with them and like saying things that's not true. It's like, ugh. you're welcome to have your thoughts. Good luck.
It's a good way to look at it.
I'm not going to engage in that.
See, I'm like a petty person. I'm quite petty, actually. So, like, if somebody says something I don't like, not once, but if someone says it a bunch, I keep a record. I keep a mental record.
The champagne bottles?
Champagne bottles, yeah. I became, that's something. So, I have champagne bottles engraved with the top of the list enemies of mine. And I wait for them to fuck up, and then I pop them. So, like, the most famous example of that is John Skipper, the old ESPN guy.
I don't know who that is.
He ran ESPN.
Oh,
Dana
okay.
just talked about it the other day because he said he was anti-MMA. The deal never would have happened. He ran ESPN. So we had a show on ESPN, Barstool Van Talk. And it maybe set a record. Lasted one episode. He canceled it for things we said, which in hindsight, I wish we didn't say them the way we did. But it was years in the past. So we launched one episode. ESPN had a little uprising about doing business with us. And they canceled after one episode. They didn't tell us. And John Skipper was quoted as saying, I didn't realize Barstool Van Talk, that was the name of the show, Barstool Van Talk, would be associated with Barstool. That was a direct quote he had. So we put him on a champagne bottle. Literally, like 3 days later, he got blackmailed by his Coke dealer. Supposedly, this is what happened. It had to step down. According to John, it's the only time he used this guy. He found a random Coke dealer off the street, impossible to believe, and got blackmailed. So he popped the champagne bottle. It was like it was perfect timing.
He had to leave ESPN because of a Coke dealer?
That's the story. That's the story. Yeah. And they he went over to run DAZN.
He runs DAZN
He
now?
used to. He doesn't anymore. So yeah, but the champagne bottles, and then HBO did a quick little like documentary on us. I thought it was going to be fair and even. That's one of the last times that was almost the last time I believed the media would be fair. It wasn't. It was a hit piece, but they showed the champagne bottles, so people became aware of it.
That's funny. Yeah. That's funny.
So I am petty in that respect.
Well, you should be petty about that. That's fucking so stupid. The guy was doing Coke.
Imagine getting black. And by the way, if he's just like, I don't know, maybe I'm naive, but to be like, yeah, I've done Coke. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I think in that world, you can't even admit you did Coke.
Which is crazy.
It's a stupid world. It's a stupid world where you have to pretend to be a fake person.
Yeah.
Like, look at these people on Good Morning America that are having an affair.
Yeah,
John
see, there it
Skipper
is.
details his ESPN